During the late Cold War, the Soviet Union was searching for a way to reach space quickly, secretly, and with full military control. This led to an experimental project known as the Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG-105, also called Spiral. It was not just an aircraft. It was a small spaceplane, designed to take off, reach orbit, and glide back to Earth like a spacecraft. The project was highly classified at the time, and only a few engineers were allowed to work on its development. The story begins in a quiet design bureau, where engineers and scientists studied American aerospace progress and dreamed of surpassing it. On large drafting tables, sketch after sketch showed a strange wedge-shaped craft with no traditional wings. It looked different from typical fighter jets. It was based on a lifting body shape, where the aircraft's body itself generates lift. The engineers believed this shape would allow the craft to survive extreme speeds while re-entering Earth's atmosphere. To test the shape, the team first built scale models and placed them inside massive Soviet wind tunnels. As powerful fans roared, white streams of air flowed smoothly over the model. The engineers watched carefully, tracking how the air bent and curved around its surface. If the airflow was wrong, the craft could flip out of control while gliding back from space. Every test mattered. Once the shape was confirmed, the real manufacturing began. In a large aircraft plant, sparks flew as metal workers welded the frame. The unfinished structure looked like a skeleton of a spacecraft, suspended above the factory floor. Piece by piece, the MiG-105 took shape. On the underside, technicians added special heat-resistant tiles, similar to what NASA would later use on the Space Shuttle. These tiles were essential, because when returning from orbit, friction with the atmosphere would heat the aircraft to thousands of degrees. The cockpit was small but advanced for its time. Engineers installed experimental control panels and unique display systems. A test pilot would need to control the craft during high-speed gliding at the edge of space. There was almost no room inside. The pilot sat in a reclined position, surrounded by switches, gauges, and test instruments. Finally, the MiG-105 was rolled out of the assembly hangar. Soldiers, engineers, and officials watched with pride. The craft did not launch from a rocket. Instead, it was carried into the sky by a large aircraft, and then released to glide on its own. This method allowed safe aerodynamic testing before any attempt to reach space. During one of the major test flights, the MiG-105 separated from its carrier and began gliding through the thin upper air. The pilot held the controls steady as the craft descended. Even a small mistake could cause disaster. But the landing succeeded. The aircraft touched down on a runway, skidding slightly before coming to a safe stop. Engineers rushed to inspect the underside. The test proved the lifting body concept could work. However, despite its success, the MiG-105 project faced delays, limited funding, and political changes. Newer space technologies were being developed, and priorities shifted. The program was eventually cancelled before the spacecraft could complete orbital missions. Today, the MiG-105 sits in a museum as a reminder of a bold and futuristic idea. It was a glimpse into a future where fighter planes might reach space, patrol Earth from orbit, and return safely. The MiG-105 was ahead of its time, a silent chapter in the history of aerospace innovation, and a symbol of human ambition reaching beyond the sky. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.